are still here at 3Oul SS and with our amazing friends and lovely women who have decided to share their success stories with our young ladies and gentlemen.
I got breast cancer, and something funny, even during my treatments, after the third chemo, my immune was really low that I couldn't stand the fourth chemo. They had to give me a booster. So I stayed home for 10 days. I was meeting with the momos. We were weeding, organizing my compound. By the time I went back, before you book in for daycare, they check whether your body can withstand.
Yes.
So I did a CPC and all those checks. My immune was higher than the one I had before I started. But all was because of that.
I was very skinny and very tall, with big eyes, and knocking legs, you know.
With the what?
Knocking legs.
You know, I was pretty small. I wear my shorts, and you see my legs in the shorts, and you know. And at some point, my older sister cut my hair off, so I had no hair. People thought I was a boy.
Like these boys who come and want to spoil you, they are deceiving you, they don't love you. And I don't want them to call you flowers. You are a beautiful flower. Girls, none of you is a flower. Flowers grow, flourish, within a short time, they wither and they die. You are not flowers. Don't accept to be called flowers.
Thank you so much for welcoming us here at 3Oul SS. We are very honored. Thank you all. And for making your time.
Now that we have an opportunity to speak to these young people, I want them to pick the most important message from our talk. I forgot to tell you that in 1998, I received an award as one of 100 women of the whole world who had made an impact and changed the life of women in the world. I went and held the Uganda flag in New York. You can imagine somebody who was imagining fighting for the girls in the village, and you end up now impacting on the women of the whole world. And that is why I want to tell you, why was that? I want to emphasize, I saw the head girl. I want to thank you for the head girl. Isn't she the one who prayed, the deputy head girl? I said I wish that was my own personal grandchild in the house, so that she may pray and God would come in that house. I want to tell you that even when she was saying, do you know who you are? I want to go back and emphasize that point of each of you having been created by God with a purpose, with God's purpose to serve. And I want you to know, for us we didn't get opportunity, many people, to know that they've got to know why they are on this earth. You are very different. Your family is not the same with anybody else. You are different before God. You have a purpose to serve. And the moment you identify that purpose, I am telling you, when you are in God's purpose, everything, even these breakers, these barriers, just get off. They get off. Why I quoted Deputy Head Girl is because I knew that this school must be knowing God. And if you know God, you know a young man called Joseph who had a dream that the brothers and the mothers will bow. And that dream was from God, by the way, because God wanted to use Joseph to take the children of Israel into slavery to fulfill his agreement with Abraham. But the dream came to who? To Joseph. And when Joseph told the brothers, dream killer, they became envious. People are envious of who you are. You must mark it out. They became envious. They sold him into where? Into slavery. So he thought maybe the dream will go. No. Joseph continued with the dream. When he reached there, God was with him. That's what the story tells us. And then the other wife, the woman loved this young boy. Like these boys who come and want to spoil you. They are deceiving you. They don't love you. And I don't want them to call you flowers. You are a beautiful flower. Girls, none of you is a flower. None of you is a flower. Flowers.
They fed. Yeah.
Hey, time is
They
going.
died, yeah.
Flowers flourish. Within a short time, they wither and they die. You are not flowers. Don't accept to be called flowers. Anyway, I go back to the point. This woman wanted to treat Joseph like a flower, wanted to take him off his God, wanted to spoil him, and he wanted to sleep with him. It to the extent of even raping him. And yet he's the one who told lies that Joseph wanted to rape her. But Joseph, because he had a dream in his heart, he refused. And he went to prison. Some of the ways can be so tough, but all those are God's plan. God had to take Joseph into prison so that he may escape the dream being killed. So he went to prison, but even in the prison, we understand he was even ahead. So when you are running with God's dream, his purpose for you, you can never fail. After so many years, didn't Joseph come and realize his dream? Didn't the brothers and the father come and kneel before him? And after that, wasn't God's purpose for Joseph realized when the children of Israel were in slavery for 400 years? And therefore God's covenant with Abraham was fulfilled. Girls, stand firm. You belong to God. You are special. And one thing she was making me laugh. For me, I used to hate my mouth so much. Because my father used to say, look at this big mouth. It is like a, you know this thing which cuts grass? What is it? Look at her mouth. He was doing all these things discouraging me. But because God was in me. But eventually, I used to hate the mouth actually. Until God eventually told me, and it is biblical, in Isaiah chapter 49, verse 1 to 3, it says, I gave you a mouth like a sharpened sword. So what am I telling you here? Don't, listen to this. I am sure each of you has got something maybe they don't like about themselves. I am telling you that is the secret. That's what God wants to use you to achieve. So you go and know that everything is good about you. If it is small eyes like me, there is a big mouth, this one will see the wrong, she will tell me and I will speak. You see? Because we are supposed to be together. If it is a long foot, me I have a long foot, it can't fit in the shoes. Ask God, what is this foot for? Maybe it is to go around visiting his people and serving them. So, everything on you is what? Beautiful. And me, I used to know. Let me tell you what kept me, despite the mouth. I used to say, don't worry, Milia, Koburunga. Don't worry, don't panic. You are the best of the lot. For me, even when I'm here, I know I'm the best dressed of all these people. Even when I'm here, I know I'm the loudest of these people. I know I'm the best of what? But that doesn't mean that when I go out, they say, but honorable, this t-shirt was not nice. I must accept that it was not nice because we must work together to be helpful. But as I move, as I walk, I know I'm the best of the lot. If you start saying, look at her. If it is my legs, I say, wonderful legs. Be yourself. and be the best of the lot. You want to say something?
And basically, you had Honorable telling us that you need to appreciate yourselves. Before anybody else can appreciate you, appreciate yourself.
We're going to be taking a short break because there's a lot that Stella as well has to tell us. And we're going to be back shortly. We are still here at 3Oul SS. And with our amazing, amazing friends and lovely, lovely women who have decided to share their success stories with our young ladies and gentlemen so that they can know that, hey, the world is not as easy as we all think. Of course, we know it's not easy. However, do take one step at a time. Do know who you are. Do know what you bring to the table. We'll be back, of course, with Honorable, with Rehema, and of course with Stella. Don't go away.
Sit down on it, fine girl. Sit down on it. Every other day, just sit down on it. Top,
yeah. Boy. Tell me, baby girl, how you do? Oh? Baby, tell me, make I know how you do. Oh? Baby, tell me how much I could pay. Oh? I will go fly, go anywhere for holiday. Oh? This love, now one angolo. This love, now one tick, yo. They could play like with the movie, yo. They can play where you go, they play mommy, yo. Mommy, oh, mommy, oh, mommy, oh. Yo, now we go, they play daddy, yo. Girl, if you be baby, happy nanny, yo. Come so bye.
Walk without play. Hey, Honorable showed you, Showed you how it's done. I hope we're set for the question and answer. There's a microphone going through. So the microphone is going around. Please be as quick as possible. And a quick reminder, we're still here at 3Oul SS. We are with our very own Stella Nantungwe. She's an actress and also a TV personality. And she's, I still want to call her Miss Uganda, yes? And she's represented well. And right next to me as well is Honorable Mia Matembe. She has spoken quite well of herself. There's some things even the people at home didn't know, okay? And I'm glad that she did point that out. And of course, we have Rehema, CEO, Remy Blooms. The work you see here today is all her work. Just a tad bit of it. Just a tad bit. So all these women have gone above and beyond to make sure that their dreams are realized. Do we have someone ready? Our super soul sister or brother?
My name is Nadato. My question goes to Miss Stella. She said that she was bullied at school, the big house, the legs. My question is, I've got to know that you're a former Miss Uganda. My question is that, how did you get that courage to stand out to go for those competitions?
Thank you
you so much for the question. Indeed, it was courage. I did my first pageant when I was in S2. It was Miss Wildlife Uganda, and I won that one. But that was only after the second try. The first time I went, I failed. I failed so badly. I went back to my school sick. The failure keeps me. But I say to myself, the next time I go, I have to win. And the essence of that pageant was to raise money for wildlife projects. So what we did in my year was raise money to bring the only white rhino back to Uganda, and we did that. But now it's sadly departed, and I think the breed has gone extinct. But we did that. And then I took part in another pageant in university, and then Miss Uganda. So I was trying. The second pageant I did in university, again, I failed. But what I did with that was learn how to teach myself, because I knew that I could not stand in the same space if I did not make improvements. I could not just show up. You know, sometimes you want to do things and you just wake up and you go. You're like, oh, today I want to play football. You just go. You've done no research. You've not taught yourself anything. You don't really know what you're going for. What I wanted to do during my Miss Uganda time was be better, to be a different contestant all the way. I set my targets. I said I want Miss Uganda, I want Miss Central, and I want Miss Congeniality. I said this to myself, and I got all 3 titles by the grace of God. So I put, in our year they were giving out the Mercedes. I put the little picture of the car on my phone, and I would look at it every day and say, you're coming home. And I told myself I could not fail. So of course, you know, in beauty pageants, everybody is beautiful, right? Now you're all competing on whose beautifulness is beautifuler than the other beautiful or the beautiful, yes? And I would feel sometimes that other girls were better than me. They even ask you, who do you feel is better than you? Now you have to be strong within yourself to say, I think Jane has a better way she answers questions, or Maria has a better way she walks, or this one has a better way she does sports. What I did with that is take everything from someone I emulated and put it within myself. I said, how does A do it? Okay, I study you, I give it. How do you walk? Okay, I study, I take it. How do you talk? Okay, I study, I take. How do you answer questions? All of that. How do you do your hair? How do you show up? All those little things, but they teach you presentation when you're older. Yes? So what I did with that is teach myself and use my competition as my drive. My mother and my family didn't believe I could do it. In fact, my mother did not watch the crowning moment. She was panicking. But by the grace of God, again, I say I made it because God had to put me there for me to do something in the future. Exactly what I'm doing now. So by the time I would stand with the other girls and I start talking, you would think I've done this 60 times. No, I used my time on the internet to learn. How do these girls in America walk? How do these girls in India talk? What are they wearing? How long are their shoes? Okay, when they show up and meet people, note, how do they behave? How do they, I had to teach myself and I taught myself, and in the end it paid off. But I did not also withhold the information. I made sure that I wanted to compete in a pageant where all of us were at par. I don't believe that in competition we have to be mean or withhold. I believe you can all thrive in your own spaces. Okay? So I hope I've answered your question, yes? Thank you.
And thank you. I like what she pointed out. Did any of you understand a couple of things she said? It is a lie when you are told that women do not get along with women. That is a total hoax. Women support women. Is anyone hearing what I'm saying right now? Because the moment you're told that women with women don't work together, it means you fail yourselves as women. It means when you're in the working space, instead of working as a team, it's bad competition. Now, who is telling us these things? Are you telling yourselves that you don't get along with another girl? So think about that, and you've heard it from her herself, that when you know something, share the knowledge, work together. Anyone else?
I just need an advice.
Yeah.
My advice from our grandmother. Yeah, she said she's our grandmother.
Yes.
So I need advice from her. Because she said that she wanted to do law, but her father never wanted her to do law. Some of us also, we are facing the same challenge, whereby you want to become someone you want to become, but the parent tells you I don't have money. Either you accept to do what I tell you, or you drop out of school, whereby you find it very difficult. When you go and talk to your father, you tell him that, for me, I'm determined I want to become this and I want to do it. Then he tells you, when you try telling him, he will say that you're disrespecting him. And even reaches an extent of telling you that if you are insisting to argue with me, you leave my home. So I just need an advice because I know most of us are facing the same challenge as girls. So I need an advice. In case I try to raise up that point that I need to become this, like maybe I want to become a doctor. But my dad told me, you cannot because I don't have money. So it's either you accept to go with me or you leave my home in simple terms.
That is an appropriate question coming. I didn't know that it is still there even during this our time, because I had known that actually the villagers, they think differently from, of course, if you are my grandchildren, I expect the parents to be better. Nevertheless, I'm glad you have raised it. I don't know whether I can give a very correct answer, but like I have told you, for me actually I fought my father all throughout because he didn't want me, he wanted to withdraw me from school, and if there was no bursary that time, I would certainly have lost out. Because where could I have got money to pay for my secondary school? So as God would have it, to promote me in my vision, my dream, his purpose for my life, he enabled me to go to look for that bursary. Maybe if I was another girl who gives in quickly, I would have said, well, since my parents want me to stop here, let me go to the college and do what? And study teaching. But because I was not giving up easily, and I had to know that there was bursary somewhere, I went there to go for it. So what am I saying? That you also, at a certain stage, you can also maybe mobilize, you can discuss, go and tell your problem to your aunt or to your uncle or to whatever. That is if you are determined. I'm telling you determination to persist and go on with your dream. God puts a way, like I was telling you, if it is in his way. Because even after now going and study on bursary, even this man who never paid school fees for me up to A level, now I want to go to Makerere to study law and he's not required to pay school fees, and he comes tell me I cannot study law because women and girls were not studying law. By the way, I was one of the third girls to study law in the whole of Ankole. Debanyankole, I'm the third woman to study law in Ankole. So it was tough. He said, you can't study law in my house. When I said, I said, what about medicine? Probably I could go to be a doctor. He said, no, you can only study teaching and nursing as a girl. And I looked at it, I said, look, this guy is not going to pay school fees. In any case, he didn't pay school fees for me. And you know, I looked at it as an opportunity if he ostracized me away from his home Because that means if I go and study my land finish, I will not have to look after him. That's how I looked at it. I said I will earn my salary and enjoy it, because he will not call me now to do what? To give him money like I did anyway afterwards. And this man did not give up. I went and studied law. When I was in second year, I got a man to marry. But in the first year, he told me, if you want to marry, don't bring here a man from the north. I said, what's wrong with the northerners? He said, they don't speak our language. We can't communicate. That one I agreed. Now he comes to Uganda. Don't bring a man from Uganda. I said, what's wrong with Uganda? He said, those in Uganda, they are thieves. I said, how do you know they are thieves? He said, don't you know the other Muganda man who lives there? He stole a chicken. And then he said that the Baganda chorus of Nyoro, that they despise Vanyankore. Okay, I said, Kari. Now the next time around, he told me, don't ever marry a Munyoro. I said, what's wrong with the Munyoro? He said, those people are greedy. I said, how do you know they are greedy? Until a Munyoro boy was studying with my younger brother at Ruviri Secondary School, and when he went to visit them, he saw he was greedy. You know, those are the biases that go on. Then he said, don't bring here Muchiga. I said, what's wrong with Muchiga? He said, those people eat too much. Hey, stop. If these tribes are there, that's how my father saw you. And then finally, because he did not tell me not to bring a Munyankore, so I was hearing and obeying everything. Now finally, I get this Munyankore man, and I go to tell him I have a Munyankore man whom I want to marry. He said, what? Kobrunga, what's wrong with you? How can you are not bringing here that man? I said, what's wrong? He's a Munyankore. He said, a Munyigara. You know, imagine needing it down to even a county, because he was coming from Igara County. I said, what's wrong with Vanyigara? Those people eat sheep. For us, we don't eat sheep. They eat sheep. For us, we don't eat sheep. I said, no, enough is enough. Have you heard? I stood my ground. I said, okay, if you don't want me to marry, then I'm not going to marry. And those days, if marrying a wrong person was all evil. But then, if you did not marry at all, I think it was more of an evil than not marrying. So when I said, I'm not going to marry you, the man said, no, this won't work. So he called the relatives. He called the clan. He said, this girl has abused me. Yeah, until that you have rebelled, that I had rebelled. So the uncles came and they sat there. This girl is a bad girl. She has rebelled. She said she'll not marry. I told my story. When I told them my story, they said, this girl has a case. She has a case. She's right. So I won the case. Have you heard? Because for me, I was determined not to be put down. Not to be put down. So even when your fathers are telling you that, you better come and appeal to us, we women who are fighting for women. We can go and talk to those fathers. We can find out what we can say. Don't just keep quiet and give up your dream. Don't you see? That's why I have come here to talk to you. Because I have resisted, and I still became that man's daughter, and I'm the one who took care of him and all his sons who never went beyond O level, and I'm the one who did everything for him up to the end. So don't succumb. Be humble, be good, and consult, but don't give up on your dream. And I'm telling you, if it is God's purpose for your life, God will be there to assist you to get it.
And just to add on,
You now have the internet. You're blessed to be in this time, all of you. You have the internet. When you go to the internet, don't just use it for TikTok, do your dance videos, take pictures, selfie, what. Use that time to search out scholarships. I went to the University of Greenwich in England, not here where you study and affiliate, but I did that through a scholarship. You get that through two things. First, you have to make sure your grades are really good. So you focus on getting the grades that can get you in. There are scholarships specifically designed for children in East African countries, where they give you scholarships just because you're Ugandan, just because you're in a Commonwealth country, just because you're of a minority. So you have to learn how to look for these scholarships and position yourself better. Yeah? Another thing, like I mentioned, make sure your grades are up to par, because even universities in Uganda give scholarships. The universities in several African countries are looking for children and students with such great grades, especially for courses in medicine, in things that are for human improvement. So don't give up. There's so many ways that you can make it.
Good.
I think there's another person. So please do research, like determination, like she said. Do everything possible. Do research. Find out if there are scholarships. Find out if there are universities you can go to. Find out, like she said, go to an uncle and auntie. Make your voice heard. Okay. So that then your father won't say that you're being disrespectful. Your father needs to know you want to do greater things.
Yes.
Yes? So if anyone in the family, search out for scholarships. Do a lot of research. Your teachers can help you sometimes. I know this for a fact. So the determination she talked about and the solution given. Anyone else, please? There's a microphone going around.
My name is Nakonga Helen. I have a question to Mom, our grandmother. I want to know, how did she started her manifesto of empowering girls at her earliest age?
It is the dream which I got at 9 years. And why this dream? Because I was living a life that was experiencing or facing discrimination, unfairness, and injustice. And by the way, when you are finding out God's purpose for your life, one of the things you look at is your experience. The experience in which you find yourself. There is a word called shape. I can't go into it now. Next time we shall look at it. But you can write it. Those who have books, write the word shape downwards. S-H-A-P-E. Shape. Each of you has your what? Shape. Like she has her tall legs. Mine are not so tall, but they are also very beautiful. Some can have thin, tall, or short. Just as we have our shapes which are different, even our shape in terms of God's purpose for our lives, it is determined by shape. And I want you to feel these words. Shape. What is S? Spiritual gifting. How are you gifted? Don't you see I'm gifted with my mouth? My sharp mouth. And my courage. Fearless. So how are you gifted as a person? God's gifts. What gifts do you have? Spiritual gifting. That is S. Then H is heart. Heart. Where does your heart go? Like me, my heart was for why are girls suffering? Why? That was my heart. And I could not ask anybody. I could not discuss it with anybody. But it was there. That is my heart. That's why whenever I find a girl, like a child crying outside, if I find a man beating a woman, oh, you are in trouble. That's my heart. So where does your heart go? If you look at yourself even when you are young, what is in your heart? What do you feel? That is, now, B-A, shape. The next letter is A. A means ability. What are you capable of doing even right now? What is your ability? The scripture says that the story about talents, that God gave people different talents. To one person he gave one, to another he gave two, to another he gave five, each according to their what? Ability. Don't look at Matembe the way she talks and say, I also want to talk like that. No. God gives us according to what? Our ability. Now P. P is personality. What type of a person are you? If you are a person who never opens your mouth to speak, who is quiet, how can you say you want to be a politician? Can you? So, what is your personality? You told them to Google. Yes. When you go in Google, you will find what they call personality traits. What sort of person are you? For me, you see me here, even in primary, if anybody teased a girl, if they were boys, I would rise up and go and beat them. Yeah. Even when they were boys. My personality had courage right from the beginning. And not tolerating any injustice. So personality, what is your personality like? The last word is experience. Experience doesn't mean what you have as qualifications or what. But as you have lived, what kind of environment, what kind of life are you living? What has determined? So my experience of being subjected to injustice and discrimination shaped my interest and my heart to follow the dream of studying the law. Why was I studying law? I was not studying law for my own interest. I was studying law to find out what it is saying about this bad situation of girls and boys and see whether it cannot change. And I wanted to plead for the girls and boys. You get it? So when I reached HSC and I found out that the law is made in Parliament, that's now when my dream was enlarged to go into Parliament to change the law. You see? So all along it was what was driving me. You must have something that drives you. Do you know, I'm now 19 years out of any job in this country. But up to now, that's why I'm here. Why do you think they would call for me here to come and talk to you? I'm an old jaja. I would be seated somewhere. But up to now, I still run with my dream. And let me tell you, this is a statement which other people should know, the members of Parliament or everybody. Your courage to pursue and run with your vision does not depend on the position at all. It depends on your passion to run with your vision. I used to go to schools. I taught so many schools. I taught senior 1, senior 2. I'm so grateful that today I was enabled to come and talk to you. Recently, I was in Weranyanji talking to all the girls. I used to go everywhere to talk to the girls. And let me tell you the beauty I enjoy. I have no job, I have no salary, I have nothing. But every time I'm walking into a girl, she says, you know what? When you came to Weranyanji, when I was in senior 2, and they give me even the statement I made. They said, when you said this, I have never been the same again. And in Chisoro, Sanze, Weya. The other day I was talking to this Sarah Pendi. You know, she's so tough in Parliament. I met her, I said, Sarah, I'm so glad I'm seeing you. I love what you do. He said, Honorable, it is because of you. I said, Sarah, I haven't met you anywhere. He said, you came to Tororo Girls Secondary School when I was in senior 2. And she said from that time, I was never the same again. So, when God gives you and you go, he goes with you. Like he came today with me, I can assure you, many of you are not going to remain the same way.
Thank you so much, Honorable Miriam Matembe. And she has told you, do not do what? Do not give up. If you have a dream, make sure it happens. No matter what, you keep striving, you keep working. By the way, life gets harder.
Yes.
Life gets harder after school, and that is why it's important to tell you now that it is hard, so that you go out there armed and knowing that this is my dream and I have to make sure
And they should be
I
careful
reach it
of those lying boys.
and be careful of the lying boys, she reminds
Yes.
me. Okay? She said, you're not flowers, you're better than that.
Mind your
bigger
studies.
than that. And the boys, please support the girls as much as the girls should be supporting you. Let's also get a last remark from Rahma, so that she can tell us more as we wind up. Last remarks to our young girls and boys. You know, they always say, don't only speak to the girls, involve the boys, involve the men.
Yes.
Which is very true. So last remark to the boys and girls in this room.
Okay, so all the boys and girls, you have the time now. It is in your hands. You're not waiting for your father, you're not waiting for your mother, you're not waiting for anybody who's about to give financial or otherwise. Your future is in your hands.
For me, my last remark would be to encourage you all to know where you are in this time. My teacher in primary school always used to say, do the right thing at the right time.
In the right place.
With the right people, right?
Yes.
And for purpose. I want you to know that you're in a country where 78% of you are under 30. I've now jumped out of 30 a little bit, but 78% of this entire population, of the 48 million people in Uganda, are under the age of 30. That should tell you something. We are a very young nation, and that means we can do so much. So you can do so much. You have room to innovate. You have room to do amazing things with yourself. Uganda is at the core of so many beautiful things. Only if you build, only if you grow, and only if you have to work within yourself to build character, like I say, and stay the course. Like Mama Miriam said, when you have identified your purpose, go knowing that God has sent you to this thing, and go with the grace of God, and go with the character of a godly person. Okay? So that would be my last remark. I'm humbled to be here with all of you, and I know from you are so many amazing young people, and it's been an honor.
So let's once again give applause to Stella Nantumbwe, yes, our Super Soul Sister, actress, TV personality, and of course, Miss Uganda, okay? And let's also give applause for Honorable Miriam Matembe, yes? She told you she retired a long time ago, but she's still going on with her work. Now that's a blessing. Hands of applause for Rama. Guys, I must say, she beat cancer, she did her own business, she took care of her kids. You can do it all, as long as you plan well. Hands of applause for her. Now, we do appreciate you all, and you're all our Super Soul Sisters in here. One day we shall be saying, we met these people, we talked to them. One day you'll be telling us your story, okay? And it's very important to know that as girls, and soon to be women, you have a lot to bring to the table. No one should tell you otherwise, okay? But that doesn't mean that you don't work hand in hand with the boys or the men in your community. Our goal is not to be called angry. Our goal is not to be told that we have so much to say. Our goal is to prove that as a girl, yes, you can do something. As a girl, you can be a doctor. As a girl, you can be an artist. As a girl, you can be anything, and you can do it well. The word is ability. Thank you so much, Super Soul Sisters. And I must say, this particular one, we always do this as a daughter exclusive, but today we are here at Kololo SS to come and see the young people, to engage them, talk to them, have a conversation with them. And these amazing ladies, you see, have created time off their busy schedules to come here. And we thank all of you and thank the school and all your teachers for giving us this opportunity to come in here and sort of, well, it's not disorganizing, to sort of engage you and take you away from the norm. Thank you so much. And I must say, we are always going to be coming and engaging with young people. Super Soul Sisters, my name is Rowena Kajumba, and I must say thank you all from me and the entire team. Until next time, on Super Soul Sisters, we'll be back and we'll bring you much, much more.
Give me the vibe, I go vibe, don't go. Bailando, no hay ni monfo. Toma ya one, digo, va a ser, se me llama.